Hello there, my name is Autumn Burdick and I'm the Communications Director for NASA Globe Observer, and I'm here for the Globe Learning Expedition. This event happens every 4 years or so, and we have a ton of participants from all around the world. And so we have a wonderful opportunity to speak with some of them and talk about mosquitoes, the impact a special app called Mosquito Habitat Mapper makes on eradicating mosquito-borne diseases, and also to talk a little bit more about the history of working with Mosquito Protocol and the GLOBE program. So I hope you'll stay tuned and take a look at the various people I'm going to talk to, and thanks for joining us. Hi there, I have Malika and Chris here of Thailand. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. Malika?
Hi, my name is Malika Jalern Suthasini. I'm actually part of SAI working group member as a chair, and I also work at Volelak University in Thailand.
Yes, that's great. And Chris?
Hi, my name is Krishna Desh Jalern Suthasini. Okay, I work at Volelak University, Thailand, and I involved a lot of technology stuff to the GLOBE program.
Yes.
That make everything interesting.
Yes.
Including the app. Yes.
Including the app, that's great. Yes. Okay, so the Mosquito Habitat Mapper and STEM education in general. Can you talk about that?
You know what? GLOBE Mosquito Habitat Mapper apps is great because not only actually it helps kids around the world actually eradicate mosquitoes, but when we talk or when we think about education, this is a STEM education. So it's a science, technology, mathematics, and engineering part. Okay, so Thai kids can use a cell phone, go out and doing some measurement, looking at mosquitoes, and then they come back and they can formulate research questions. Okay, something really simple that they can do at their own backyard. Okay, and when you ask them to think about climate change, Mosquito Habitat Mapper apps can actually lead those kind of questions that students can formulate in their class about climate change.
Exactly, yeah. That's great. So advancing technology is a big part of the fact that we can even do Mosquito Habitat Mapper. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. The app actually came out at the right time because in Thailand, the government actually run they call the strategic plan for the country.
Yes.
It's called Thailand 4.0.
Okay.
Basically, it's involved technology to foster the innovation, everything, you know.
Yeah.
And the app is representing that.
Oh yeah.
And the phone actually is central to all this connectivity.
That's true.
In the past, when you collect data, it's not connected.
Nope.
With the phone, you know, and easily available in Thailand, and
exactly. And how many Thai kids have a phone?
we have very good coverage of internet all over the country. That means the data is connected. Okay.
Yes.
And I think this is the first time that citizens can have some role in mosquito problem.
Yeah.
Usually you have to wait for the for the government, for the official to come and kill all the mosquito by spraying.
But with the phones you can just do it.
Yeah, with the phone you can just do it.
That's perfect.
And when you spraying, it's not very good because it's chemical.
That's right.
In Thailand, when you're spraying for mosquito, usually not the mosquito die, but the cockroaches.
Oh,
they
dear.
come out of the pie, millions of them, around in the city. They all die, very bad. But yeah, and the app actually represent the, I don't know, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, he invented the phone. I don't know if he thought about this. When he invented this phone, this can be used to eliminate the mosquito.
Exactly. No, it's fantastic.
Who knows, right?
Right.
It's very good, yeah.
Thank you. I'm here with Becky. Becky, would you mind introducing yourself and telling me your affiliation?
Thank you. Yes, my name is Becky Boger, and I'm an associate professor at Brooklyn College in New York City in the United States. And before that, I was an international project scientist for GLOBE for many years.
Awesome. Thank you. So I do have a question for you, Becky. Mosquito Habitat Mapper, the data that's coming in. How is information from citizen scientists helpful to scientists like you?
That's a great question, but I'm going to ask you a question first.
Sure.
Did you know that 1 in 7 people each year contract a mosquito-borne disease, and that over 500,000 people die each year.
That is
from
terrible.
mosquito.
That's terrible.
So we need, and many scientists are involved at this from around the world, and we need citizen science data to help eradicate this deadly problem.
Yeah.
And so different scientists are being involved in different ways. NASA scientists are using satellite data to try to create mosquito models to predict where there's going to be disease outbreaks. We need citizen science data to validate and improve those models. Public health scientists may be working in communities, identifying where in the communities there are, and need people on the ground to help them make their communities safer.
That's absolutely. So we need you guys. So some trainings went on recently in Togo, Africa. The GLOBE program likes to train different people around the world in GLOBE protocols. And this special protocol called Mosquito's protocol, we have an app for that as well. But I wanted to ask Rusty and Elias about that training.
Great. So we just a couple of weeks ago, we were in Lomé, Togo. We had a training with people from 17 countries. We had 59 people. And all of them came from different fields, the citizen scientists, some of them were teachers, some of them were public health. Our goal is to get as many people as possible using the app because we know the app can make a difference in reducing the risk of vector-borne disease.
Awesome.
And I think that also that was a big opportunity for country coordinators, but also for GLOBE alumni. And I would like to thank very much the Africa Coordination Office, Mr. Mark Brittany, who did a lot for GLOBE alumni and who decided with Christine Wegner
Yes.
to bring alumni in charge of this project in
Right.
Africa.
No, that's awesome.
We think that we will give a good help, okay,
Yes.
to
Yes.
this program, and
Yes.
I think that we will succeed.
Yeah, I think it's those boots on the ground, the people that actually live there and know the environment the best should be the ones, right?
Right.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, I have Laura here with me, and Laura, would you mind introducing yourself to everybody?
Thank you, Autumn. My name is Laura Altin. I come from Estonia and I'm GLOBE alumni. But nowadays I'm also a GLOBE Estonia country coordinator.
That's right.
I have been in the GLOBE program for 21 years.
That's amazing. Did you enjoy doing it?
Of course.
Of course. You wouldn't be here otherwise, right? Awesome. Thank you. So mosquitoes and the diseases they spread are not as bad in Europe as some other parts of the country, correct?
No, compared to Africa or Thailand, for example.
Okay. But what sort of effects are you seeing in Europe? Do they spread diseases? Do they do other things? Let me know.
The main thing is that they are annoying during May and June because they really are intense.
Yes.
And for example, in my case, I have a pretty strong mosquito allergy.
Oh no.
Yes, it means that when a mosquito bites me,
Yes.
I will get blisters and it will be painful. We don't have any big diseases, but still.
Still, they have an effect. They are annoying.
Yes.
They hurt.
Yes.
So it's important, even then, without the diseases, to eradicate those breeding sites. So making use of the Mosquito Habitat Mapper app, you can take part in this quest to eradicate diseases and just mosquitoes in general because they do bite us.
Yes, and they are interesting.
They are interesting, right? They are.
Yeah.
So mosquitoes, yes, they carry diseases. Yes, they're annoying, but they're still bugs and they're interesting. So what else
Yeah.
can you learn by using the app?
By the app and by this little microscope, you may actually investigate how a mosquito looks like and
Yes.
different phases of life cycle for
Yes.
mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, when you know how mosquito looks like, you can know the species and you can distinguish different species.
That's true. That's true. And this sort of information and knowledge, this training that you're taking part in, you can make use in all sorts of forms of education, right? It all has the same process of memorization and learning and doing. So that's great. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Renee. Renee, would you introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Be happy to. So my name is Renee Kutsi. I'm a biologist and climate justice advocate. And my story with GLOBE started when in 2002 I was working with my students and as a scientist looking at the impact of climate change on fishery management. And I moved to Brazil in 2014,
Yes.
coincidentally when the Zika outbreak happened after the World Cup. And we had all these crises of babies being born with microencephaly,
Right.
with birth defects that were, they were symptoms of blindness. They could not speak.
Right.
They had lifelong neurological disorders,
Yes.
and a vast array of other congenital problems. And we were wondering what is actually causing these problems. And when the World Health Organization announced that it was from a mosquito,
Yeah.
and the mosquito that transmits the Zika virus, which calcifies the developing fetal brain,
Yeah.
we were shocked. Because we get bit by mosquitoes every day.
All
We
the
lived in the
time. All
tropics.
the
This
time.
was in Salvador de Bahia
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
northeast.
No.
And that's where the birthplace of Zika in Brazil. So we really wanted to look at how we could solve this problem
Yes.
and empower our communities to take charge of protecting their own health.
Right.
And
Their own
collective health.
families, their own communities as well.
With the students that I was working with, we repurposed the Globe land cover protocol and started to add monitoring of where standing water was and containers where
Yes.
mosquitoes were breeding.
Exactly.
And we were focusing on the mosquitoes that transmit disease. And this was really empowering because I could see on a small local level the impact that youth had
Yeah.
on removing the breeding grounds where mosquitoes
Absolutely.
lived.
Yeah.
And then they took this home
Yeah, it's
and
simple,
did it
right?
at home as
It's
well.
simple.
So we started to work with communities that don't have schools and that don't have basic services like running water and trash collection and sewage collection, and empowering those communities by working with the mothers who have children with microencephaly to go around to their communities saying, you don't want this happening to your own children and your family.
So now you've heard a bunch of stories from people from around the world, and you might be wondering, how can I get involved? Well, you can. All you have to do is download the free Globe Observer app. You can get it at the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and just look for Globe Observer. And then within the app, once you have it downloaded, you'll see a couple of different tools. We have Mosquito Habitat Mapper and Clouds. Mosquito Habitat Mapper is the one you're going to want to tap and take a look at and start dumping out water, taking a look at those mosquitoes and identifying them, and really helping the world, your neighbors and yourself, to eradicate those diseases and just make the world a better place.